Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Daily Bern. We're going to start in just a minute. This is the war room of the political revolution. This is a daily motivational inspiration show that we do for all of us that are out there every day fighting in this political revolution in order to change our government into one that works for the people. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get this message out as far as you can. Hey everybody, it's Sean. This is the Daily Bern. Come on in. We're going to start in just a minute. What this is the war room of the political revolution. We gather here every day and talk about this fight. Talk about this fight that we're in. We are in a fight. Those of us fighting in this political revolution understand that. We understand that we are in a fight. And most more important than that, we understand that it is our fight. You know, not me, us is up on the screen right now. That is the truth. That's not just a campaign slogan. This is not about Bernie Sanders. This show isn't about Bernie Sanders. This show is about the revolution. You know, this show is about what we need to do moving forward. Now, right now, we're trying to get Bernie Sanders elected president. That's a big part of what we're trying to do moving forward. But he is just our candidate. This is a revolution. That means it happens everywhere, it happens from the ground up. We need to be running for school board. We need to be running for city council. We need burners on every level of government. We are trying to change and reform and rebuild this from the bottom up. It can't happen from the top down. Electing Bernie Sanders, when we elect Bernie Sanders president, which we will, when we elect Bernie Sanders president, it's not going to solve all of our problems. It's not going to end anything. It'll just be a really cool president if we don't stay active, if we don't keep fighting, if we don't stay vigilant. But that's what we talk about on this show. We talk about what we're going to have to do to make this change happen. These things that we're pushing for under Bernie and with this platform, they are revolutionary changes, huge changes to our current greed-driven system. But they are not impossible. People would have you think that they're priced out of our range, that these are pie-in-the-sky dreams that we can't reach, that we'll never attain, and that we're being unrealistic. We're a bunch of people living in our parents' basements being unrealistic. Now, that's as true as the Bernie bro myth. The fact that people believe that all of Bernie's fans are male. That's ridiculous. It's just media propaganda, and that's what the media is going to do. The media's whole job and purpose and place in this world is to lie and misdirect and try and skew reality in real time. Try and make people convinced that things aren't the way that they are, to not trust your own eyes, your own logic. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Michael. Good to see you guys are here. But that's what they do. The media distracts, the media divides, the media breaks up, the media misinforms. That's their job. That's what they do and what they've always done and what they'll always do. We just have to fight them. And fighting them falls on us, the people. This fight, this fight that we're in right now is strange. We've never been prepared for it. We've never been taught about it, and that's why a lot of us don't even recognize it as a fight. But what we need to do in this fight is be the media. We need to fight the propaganda. We need to fight the lies. And you do that by talking to people, just having regular conversations. You know, you'll find that people are receptive to these ideas. Medicare for All, for instance, has something like over 70% national approval. You know, people want it. They like it. They're into the idea. It's just that they're being lied to, that it's not possible, or that they won't be able to pick their doctors, or that this or that. Whatever fear tactic the media is pushing to try and take people away from supporting Medicare for All or supporting some of Bernie's platforms is a fear that they're going to be taxed out of existence, that they're going to pay so much in taxes they won't be able to survive or live or have a productive life. Well, that's not the case. You know, and it's all public knowledge. It's all out there. Bernie has on his website how much all this stuff costs. It's all laid out. It's all explained. So inform yourself the best you can. Go to berniesanders.com. I've got a link for it in the description. and inform yourself on all these policies. He's got it all on there. It's really easy and really easy to navigate, and you can learn about it. And that's what's going to be important, is that you learn and inform yourself, because you can't inform others unless you know. And Einstein said, I believe it was Einstein, that if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. And we need to be able to explain this simply and quick. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities to talk to people. And when they come up, you want to be able to capitalize as much as you can on them. Because I'm not asking you to go around and pester everybody all day long. Hey, have you heard of Bernie Sanders? Hey, have you heard of Bernie Sanders? If you want to do that, do it. But I'm just asking you to take advantage of opportunities that come your way. You'll be at a family dinner, you'll be out with your friends, and one of these issues will come up. These topics will come up. It just happens in regular conversation. And if you capitalize on it and make the most of it when it does, then we're gonna find that we have the best success with this, that we get the farthest with this, that we can move forward and we can make this change. That all we have to do is stay united, stay vigilant, stay active, stay out there talking, and keep the message out among people's ears, and show it as much as you can. While you're at BernieSanders.com, get you a bumper sticker. Those things are amazing, and they open up a lot of discussion, and it causes a lot of excitement. Good morning, Royce. We are in this to win it. We are going to win. But what that's going to take is millions of people understanding that this is our fight. And we're well on our way. We're the front runners. We are crushing it. Right now, 3 million people have already volunteered and are signed up to do all they can to make sure that Bernie Sanders walks into that White House in 2020, and that our revolution begins. Electing Bernie Sanders is going to be a nuclear strike to the powers that be. It's going to inspire millions of people to get active in this country. It's going to show people that we can win. We can. They've done all they can to convince the people that they're weak, and they do a very good job of it, a fantastic job of convincing people they're weak and they're powerless and there's nothing that they can do. Well, it's all lies. It's not true. And once we've pushed Bernie into that White House, which is what it's going to take pushing him in there. We're going to have to take this by force. They're going to do everything they can to stop us. And what I mean by force is by force of our numbers. We overwhelm their system with our numbers. Every voting opportunity, every caucus, every time we get a chance to flex, it needs to look like a Bernie Sanders rally. And if we do that, it will not matter how much they do to rig it. And they will rig it. They will rig it again. They got away with rigging an election in this country. They rigged an election in this country, and it was exposed. And instead of doing something about it, instead of reforming our democracy and fixing the situation, we've locked the man up who exposed it, Julian Assange, in a cell, and he is a political prisoner whose life may be ruined over sharing the truth, over putting out information that was true, and exposing the fact that the Democrats rigged the election in 2016. They will try to do it again. And they'll do it again because they got away with it. And everybody's responsible for that. People blame Bernie Sanders. They're like, well, he didn't do the right thing. He didn't react right. He should have been a hero. He should have sacrificed himself and fought back and kicked and screamed and talked about the rigging. It would have been political suicide for Bernie to do that. What about the fact that we allowed an election in this country to be rigged and didn't do anything? We did that. Us. We need to take ownership of this stuff, even the bad. Even the bad. They rigged an election in this country and we let it happen. Now, we're coming up on another, and they are already trying to rig it. Are we going to let them do it again? I'm not. I'm on the side, and I'm with the people that have decided that there is no way they're rigging 2 elections in this country, back to back, over my dead body. So we're going to overwhelm their system with our numbers. And we are coming to take this. We are not coming to negotiate. We're not coming to look for middle ground. They're not going to want to give us any of this, because their system is what we're coming to destroy. Their system that enriches them. People like Nancy Pelosi that are worth $60 million on a $300,000 salary. I'll give you all day to try to figure out the math on that, and don't try to come at me with, well, she wrote books. She sold her soul is what she did, and she's not alone. And a lot of these people sell their souls to the corporate elite, to the bankers and the super rich, the elite predators that own us and control our world. These politicians have sold their souls to them, and they do not work for you. They do not work for us. They work for the ultra rich. And sadly, it's most of our politicians. So we've got to tear this down and rebuild it from the ground up, and we've got to take it. They're going to do everything they can to hold on to that sweet money they keep putting in their pocket that they use to screw over the American people and to fight against those that they are actually sworn to represent. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to change it, but to do so, we're going to have to overwhelm it. Their system can be brought down. It is rigged against us, but it can be brought down. It can be brought down with our numbers. And that is true and has been true throughout history. It's not a new concept. It's not something Bernie came up with. If you look at history, which is the best way to learn and to know what's coming, is to study history. If you look at history, when millions of people stand united, they win. Always. That is always the way it happens. So Bernie Sanders isn't lying to you. I'm not getting on here every day and lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. This is how we make change happen. And we're going to win. We have the momentum needed to win. It only takes 3% of a population to overthrow their government and to have a successful revolution. Well, what we're doing is a political revolution. This is what peaceful revolution looks like. And more than that, this is what democracy looks like. This is what it's supposed to look like. People getting involved, getting informed, getting active, doing what they can to hold these people accountable, because that's what happened. That is how things got so out of hand to begin with. We let greedy people run wild with our country and our laws and our economy. And they have used that power that we've given them by laying back, by falling asleep at the wheel. They've used that power to enrich themselves to a level that is disgusting. That is disgusting. They have yachts that park inside of yachts. They have so much money they could live 100 lifetimes, living extravagantly and never spend it all, never even dent it. And they're paying no taxes. They're not paying into society. So people that are putting fear in your mind over socialism need to understand that we already have socialism. It's just for the rich. We have socialism in this country. Matter of fact, you already are a card-carrying socialist. You have a social security card in your wallet. You use the roads. You use the fire department. You use the police. You're already a socialist. These are all social programs. You're being scared by that word through propaganda. That word does not mean breadlines and communism. And Bernie's style of socialism is democratic socialism. Government for the people, by the people. That's in the best interest of the people. That's what he's talking about. A society that works towards the betterment of the people and of society. A society that wants to move forward, wants to progress, wants to grow its future. Not this current society that wants to take and take and take everything they can until there's nothing left to take and nothing's left at all. And the whole planet is dead. And that's where they're pushing us towards. And that's where we'll go if we allow them to keep doing it. And for them to do it, they would need us to allow it. They can't do it on their own. Our silence is our consent. So stop being silent. Let it be known that this is not okay, and we do not stand for this. And I don't really care where you land politically. They need to be taken down. So wherever you think that's the best chance, I happen to believe that this revolution with Bernie Sanders is our best chance. So I'm going to do all I can in this fight. But if you're fighting, you're on my team, even if you're not on the same, pushing towards the same goal as me. If you're trying to make the world a better place, you are on the same team as me. We just might not have lined up yet. We are playing for the same team because we are the people, and this is up to us. So as long as you're trying to fight, I'm with you. But I want you to come fight with me because we're going to win. And you may not agree with everything. I don't agree with Bernie all the time. I don't agree with everything Bernie wants or everything Bernie wants to do. Some of it, you know, I have problems with, but that's okay. And we can deal with that down the road. We can deal with that when it actually is an issue. When we get him in power, when we take down the power control. Don't be afraid, like, because a lot of the people that like Bernie are turned off by the taxes and his gun control stance. They're never coming for your guns, for one. And the taxes, you're being lied to. It's You're being misled. No one's talking about a 40% jump in your taxes, but that's what they think because that's what the propaganda is saying. It's a 4% jump. And your health insurance costs go away, so it's a net gain for you. But people need that explained to them. It's not that they don't want it. They've been told that it's unreal, that it's unrealistic when it's done all around the world. They're lied to. They have a flickering little box that lives in their living room that lies. And that's all it does. It lies all day long on every channel, no matter what channel you turn it to. It's lies. They have you believing an alternate reality. They've made up their own version of what reality even is, and they sell it to you every day. But it's nothing but lies and propaganda. Don't allow yourself to be misled by it. And definitely don't allow it to break your spirit. Roy says that they are destroying our planet. This greed needs to be stopped. This greed has to be stopped. John F. Kennedy said that if violent or peaceful revolution is made impossible, violent revolution will become inevitable. Now, he wasn't saying that because he wanted a violent revolution. He was saying that because he understood that there was a plan in this country and there were powerful people that had taken control of things that were moving us in a direction where violent revolution would become inevitable because humanity would be pushed to the brink. Was he wrong? Was he wrong, or was he looking into the future? Did he have a crystal ball? He came out and told everyone that there is a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and children. He gave his life to expose that stuff. He begged the press to cover it. He begged them in one of his final speeches to cover it. Well, there is no such thing as a press anymore. He knew that. He saw it was dying and he was begging them to save it because the press is supposed to be the fourth wall of our government. They are supposed to keep everything checked and balanced, but they've been bought off and now they're completely controlled and you can't trust anything coming out of it. And it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs, but it is our state of affairs. And we need to realize that and move forward and do what we need to do to change it. And we are doing that. So if you're part of this revolution, thank you and stay vigilant. Keep your mind right. That's what this show is for. It's to motivate people and inspire people. That's why I did it, because I didn't see that out there. But whatever builds you up, maybe it's not this show, maybe it's something else. Keep your mind right. Focus on that because the media will do all they can to break you, so don't let them. And don't believe them when they sell you fake frontrunners like Joe Biden or Elizabeth Warren. That's all lies. They're just trying to convince the average person that these people with no support have support so that they'll vote for them. And they can build them up invisible support. Same they tried to do with Hillary in 2016. They're doing it now with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren has 1/64th of the support that they're showing you. 1/64th. She is 1/64th the frontrunner. Bernie Sanders is the frontrunner. Christopher says global warming will push us to the brink. Our planet is being destroyed, and the people destroying it have names and addresses. We know who they are. I could fit them in this room. And this is not a big room. We need to stop letting them do it. And we are letting them. We are allowing it. We are allowing this greed every time we don't fight back against it. Now, in 2020, we're going to get a chance to make a nuclear strike, like I said, and start taking this back. And we're going to win. But we are going to have to take it. They're not going to give it to us. They're not going to nicely go, hey guys, all right, you win. Here you go. They're going to fight us all the way to the end. Michael says, Sean, you're amazingly concise and persuasive. I hope you are canvassing and training canvassers. Um, I'm actually not canvassing, but I would like to. I want a table. I've seen people tabling, and that looks really cool to me. I volunteer, but I do the texting because I work full time and then I am doing these independent shows. Uh, I'm trying to do this professionally moving forward. I want to do motivational shows and this show, and I have other shows. So I do all that, but I do the texting because the texting is a really easy way to get the message out, and it doesn't take a lot of effort or time. They have an app made for it, and I can send 1,000 texts out to people in like 15 minutes. It's super easy. So check out berniesanders.com and see if there's any ways to volunteer or help out that you can do. Because even with a full time job and doing shows, I'm able to text. And I even am flirting with tabling. I want a table. I want to get out and do some tabling because I've heard that's cool and that you get to talk to all kinds of different people, which I'm sure you do when you canvas too. In 2016, I did some phone banking, but I've never canvassed. I actually, and this is weird because I have shows and I do stand up and I'm an entertainer, so it's weird. But I have anxiety, social anxiety, really bad, and the canvassing has honestly always scared me, and honestly, tabling does too. But I'm gonna do it. I want to set up a table. I want to get all the stuff, but I don't even know how to get a yard sign yet. I've been trying to get it through Bernie's website. I've been told if I drove to a campaign office, but I live in the middle of Missouri. I live in rural Missouri and I'm surrounded by cornfields. And the closest campaign office is a 2-hour drive. So I haven't been to a campaign office yet to get me a sign. But last election, I had two of them in flags and I had a whole display. So I want to get my display back up. I need my display, so I got to get me some signs. Christopher says, I think it will have to be violent revolution because it has become too corrupt to fix. It is very corrupt. But as I said, we are going to be given an opportunity to overwhelm it with our numbers. And that will take it down. We can win in that way. But if we don't overwhelm it with our numbers, if we drop this golden football that has been placed delicately in our hands and this path towards victory that has been laid out perfectly, if we mess up this perfect opportunity, which I don't think we will, but if we do, you're right, Christopher, and that will be where my direction changes. This show is my favorite show. I do this show every day, and it's my favorite show that I do because it helps me. It makes me a better person. I don't get on here and talk to you guys if I'm not ready to. I get my mind right every day to do this show. I sit here and I listen to motivational videos and music that pumps me up until I'm ready to talk to you because I wanted there to be a motivational voice out there in this fight. And I decided that was going to be me. But I'm no optimist. I'm a realist to my core. I just believe in this fight. And I believe in it because of history and because history has shown me that this can happen and this is the way it happens. So since it is, I'm going to throw all my support behind it. But I don't believe in politics. I don't have a deep belief in politics. And I agree with Christopher. It is so corrupt that it does seem like we won't be able to fix it. But I'm going to keep my faith in this fight all the way until it ends. And it never ends. Because if we fail, I don't want to think that way. Like I haven't considered plan B because it gets in the way of plan A. You know what I mean? I plan on winning. And I'm going to think like a winner until that time. But at that time, I'll change my focus and it will change away from politics. I was asked yesterday if the convention, if they do it again, if they rig the election again, would I support Jesse Ventura? Because Jesse Ventura is flirting with running in the Green Party. I don't think I would. I don't think I will support politics if this fails. So, speaking hypothetically for just a second, if Plan B comes into existence, if we find ourselves in a Plan B situation, I won't be focusing on politics anymore. Maybe at the local level, but this is a golden opportunity. We really couldn't have a better opportunity here. We have the most well known politician in the country, the most well liked politician in the country, whose only downside or flaw is his age. He has a 40-year track record of integrity and reliability. He's been fighting for the same things for decades. We have an amazing chance, an amazing path to victory right now. And all we have to do is overwhelm it with our numbers. Now, when it gets down to a convention, when it gets to voting, and when it gets to caucuses, it's got to all look like a sea of people every time. They have to see and be proven. It has to be proven to them that we are not going to back down, because what they like to do is they like to use their media and they like to use their propaganda to break the people's spirit. And it always works. Always works. So we have to prove to them that we're not going to lay down. So we have to show them at every opportunity, we have to make it look like a Bernie Sanders rally, and we have to show them that there is no backing down. We are going to take this. And that show of force will make them back down. But they'll make it look like they're winning all the way up until they can't fake it anymore. There's no lie too big for the mainstream media. They will push any lie, and they will do all they can. They will fight us to the last second, kicking and screaming. You're talking about billions of dollars, money outside of your imagination, that they are protecting. That's the amount of greed that they are trying to keep. And we're trying to take it away. They're going to fight us with everything they've got. But they will lose. We are coming for this country. We are coming to take back our government, and we are coming to make real change. Not to ask for it, to take it. We're going to overwhelm their system with our numbers, and we're going to win. Not Bernie, us. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This is the Daily Bern. This is a revolution show that we do every day for the revolution, for the revolutionaries, for all of you that are out there fighting, because that is what it's going to take. That is what's going to make change. That is what's going to make this happen. That is the only thing that is going to make this happen. So stay out there, stay fighting, stay vigilant, and we will win. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been the Daily Bern, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for another episode. Thank you, everybody that shared. I can't share. I'm in special Facebook sharing jail, and they got me locked up. But like Roy says, not me, us. We're going to win this, guys. Keep moving forward. Keep fighting. Stay out there. Keep spreading the truth. I'll see you tomorrow.